This is Dr. Steve Horowitz from Saline Chiropractic, and I have a summer exercise program for the Saline Marching Band. We're going to start with the feet. So I'm sitting on a yoga mat. If you have carpeting at home, sit on carpet, but don't sit on a hard floor. Roll something out that's a little bit soft that you can sit on. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to squeeze and open. Squeeze and open. So it's like making a fist with your hand. I'm going to do that with my feet. Squeeze, open, about this speed, 20 times. And really strengthen your feet this way. After you do that 20 times, you're going to go out and in, and out and in, out and in 20 times. The last one is going to be circles. So big circle. Think of having a pen in between your big toe and your second toe. And you're drawing a huge circle. So about this speed, 10 this way. So one's going to be going clockwise. One's going to be going counterclockwise. And then we'll go the other way. 10 times. So quick review, 20 squeezes and opens. 20 out and in, 10 circles one way, 10 circles the other way for a total of 20. Now it's time to strengthen your wrists because we're holding instruments. So you're going to get on all fours, hands directly underneath your armpits. You're going to rock forwards and you're going to feel when you rock forwards, you're going to hit a point where you're going to really feel it in your wrists. So when you feel that point, just start to go back. Just go as much as you can, and over days and weeks, we'll be able to push it a little bit. But in the beginning, just go back and forth 10 times. And then you're going to go side to side. So as I rock to my left, I'm going to feel a lot of pressure on the left wrist. And when I rock to my right, I'm going to feel pressure on my right wrist. Again, go as far as you can, and over time, you'll be able to put more stress on it. Keep your hands wide. Separate your fingers. Get a good plant on the ground. Rock left, rock right, 10 times. So forward and back 10 times, left and right 10 times. Third exercise, now you're meeting my wife Samantha, and she's going to do wall slides. So she's got her back against the wall, her butt against the wall, and she's going to do her best to keep her elbows, her forearm, her wrists, and her hand against the wall. And she's going to reach up, so reach all the way up, go a little faster, all the way up, and then back down so your elbows are about shoulder level. You're going to go up and down that way 10 times. So up, and then down, and you're going to do that 10 times. Awesome. Now, you're going to walk in place. Kind of like track and field. So a couple of things with this. Your legs straight up and down. No knees crossing over. Same with the arms. So keep your arms at about 90 degrees. Doesn't have to be perfect. And you're swinging like a pendulum. But your arms are going straight. No crisscrossing. So I'm just going to walk in place. How high do I get my knees? If you can, try to get your knee at least parallel with your hip. So don't stop here. I want it up. Up like this. So from the side, about this speed, and then from the front. 10 steps like this. So now we're going to keep getting the heart rate up, and you're going to do kind of a jumping jack, but we're going to call it a step jack. Why is it called a step jack? Because you're just going to step to the side, hands up, step back, step to the other side, and back. So what does it look like? Step, step. Reach the arms over top, step, step. So a total of 10 steps to the left, 10 steps to the right. After that, your heart's going to be beating a little bit, And now we'll start to do a little bit of strength training. So now we're just going to do a push-up. So if you can do a regular push-up, what does that mean? You're going to get your feet out, and then I'm going to lower down and push up. Notice I didn't move quickly. Try to go down slowly. It's much more challenging. On this one, I don't care how many reps you get. Just do as many as you can. If you can't do a push-up from the plank position, I want you to do it off of your knees. So just down and up. Now I'm going to have Samantha, my wife, I'm going to turn around. Why? Because I want you to see the angle of my arms. I don't want your arms out here. I want your elbows kind of tucked in from the side. So if I do it off my knees, look at where my elbow is compared to my side. It's not sticking out here. So just do as many as you can. Just do one set because we're going to do a circuit. So the circuit's going to start with the push-ups. So now we're going to move to the lower body. And you're just going to do a bodyweight squat. So put your hands on your shoulders like this, and you're going to squat down. Now for some of you, this is going to be really easy. And for some of you, it's going to be a little bit challenging. So I'll show you something else that you can do if this is challenging. But you're going to squat down, and notice that wherever my feet are, and a good starting position is think of your armpits, and your feet are going to be directly underneath your armpits. Your feet don't have to be perfectly straight. They can be a little toed out, but just a little toed out, not a lot toed out. However much toe out you decide feels comfortable, it should be equal side to side. Arms here, and you're going to squat down. So notice when I squat, my knees are in line with the middle of my foot. My knees aren't to the inside. So I'm going to squat down. Doesn't have to go way deep, and come up. If you can go all the way down, that's fantastic. Do it. If you can't, don't worry about it. From the side, what does that look like? You sit back in here. Now, if that's challenging, and if you feel like your chest falls forward, you can use a seat. And all you're going to do is sit down. Really easy. Sit down to the seat, touch, come back up. Down to the seat, touch, come back up. The goal is to not let your chest fall forward. So if you can do a body weight squat without the seat, do it that way. If you can't, do it with the seat. Try to get 10 repetitions. If you can only do 5, that's fine. Try to work your way up to 10. Next exercise. This is going to work your core, meaning your belly, your side, and your lower back. What's it going to look like? I'll show you the exercise and then we'll break it down. You're going to take one arm out and the opposite leg out. So it looks like this and back. So what you can do is take your right arm, reach it out. It doesn't have to be high off the ground. It just has to be off the ground. And try to make it straight out. So I take my right arm out and bring it back. Now, I can take my left leg and bring it back. It doesn't have to be up here. A little bit off the ground. The key is that my shoulders and my hips are not wobbling all over the place. If you know what a level is, that little measuring tool with the little bubble, the bubble should stay in the middle. So my shoulders shouldn't wobble and my hips shouldn't wobble. So when I do it, it's reach out, right arm, left leg, hold 1, 2, 3, and back. And then left arm, right leg, hold 1, 2, 3, and back. And try to do 5 each side. So 5 right arm, left leg, 5 left arm, right leg. You can either do all 5 like this, and all 5 like this, or 1 and 1. 5 each side. So now, why do I have a gallon of water? Well, a gallon of water, here's your math test, weighs 8 pounds. So I'm going to work by pulling the water can. So I'm going to hold the water can in my left arm, and if you have a dumbbell, of course you can use a dumbbell. But if you don't have any weights at home, just buy a gallon of water. You're going to put 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. So if I'm going to hold it in my left arm, my left leg is going to be back. I'm going to sit down and lean forward, and then I'm just going to pull the water can up. And notice that my forearm is straight up and down here, straight up and down here. So I'm going to pull and down, and pull and down, and pull and down. And then I can switch sides. So now it's in my right arm, right leg back, pull and down. 5 repetitions. If you're stronger and you have some dumbbells and you can do 10 pounds or 20 pounds, go for it. But a nice gallon of water, 8 pounds, is a good place to start. So now, after you do that circuit, so what did we do? We did push-ups, we did some squats, we did some pulling with the water can, right? And we did the bird dog for the core. Now we're going to do a little bit of hip range of motion. So notice, I'm sitting, this knee is bent at 90 degrees, this knee is bent about 90 degrees. My hands are behind me. I'm going to flip my legs, my feet are going to stay in the same position. My feet are going to stay there. I'm just going to turn over to the other side. 90 degrees here, 90 degrees here. For some of you, this is going to be easy. For some of you, it's going to be a little hard. But this is great for your hips. So you're going to go one side, hold it, other side, hold it. One side, hold down, the other side, hold down. 10 times. Okay. So now, what you can do, that will be one circuit. So we did the warm-up, right? We did the feet for a warm-up. We did the shoulders against the wall for a warm-up. We warmed up our wrists. That's the warm-up. But the push-ups and the core and the squats and the pulling for the back, you can do a bunch of circuits of that. If you can only do it one time through, start there. If you can do a couple of circuits, do that, and don't forget to finish with the hip range of motion. And as we go through the summer, I'm going to make this a little bit more difficult come the end of June. Enjoy.